mission command of the risen Lord has been the motivating force behind the missionary endeavor of his disciples throughout the ages. In accordance with this command of the Lord, strengthened by the Spirit, the apostles went from place to place, proclaiming the good news. Such is Etawah mission in Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh, the culturally and demographically rich state of India, was home to powerful empires of ancient and medieval India, including that of Emperor Akbar. Known for his compassion for all religions, Emperor Akbar constructed a church for Jesuit fathers, which is still there in the premises of Agra Cathedral campus. The Christian roots in the area were evident before the First War of Independence, and the church situated at Fatehgarh is a saga.
Fatehgarh was once upon a time a main center of English East India Company. It was a place, the halting place for Englishness while they were traveling from Delhi to Kolkata. And later, they got the administrative powers of Fatehgarh. They began with the English railway in Fatehgarh. Slowly, of course, they have begun the military training center too here. And we have got a beautiful church here. It was constructed 167 years before. And here the history says that it was also one of the places where the first independence war was began. When Englishness were here, when the Sipahi Mutiny, which the Englishness called, we proudly say the first independence war was began here too. And the localites captured all the English officers here, and they were killed, and they captured this locality too. But unfortunately, we lost the first independence war, and again the Englishness recaptured, and all the remains of all those who died there, all those remains were collected, and a proper Christian burial was given, and then it was deposited in a well in front of the church, and a tablet was erected here. And the names of all those who lost their life in that first independence war, of course, as per Englishness, it's a Sipahi Mutiny. The names of all those people have been written on the three sides of the tablets. And there was a small church before previously here that was destroyed by the people by that mutiny and the first independence war. Later, under the direct order of Queen Victoria, a new church was constructed in the year 1861 with a Gothic structure.
The Calcutta meeting of the General Body of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of India in the year 1974 put forward the idea of inviting vocationally rich South Indian congregations and dioceses to work in North India, where the church experienced the shortage of missionaries.
The Etawah mission is the North Indian missionary outreach of the Archdiocese of Changanasheri. Begun in 1975, it was in response to a great demand from the church expressed in the Kolkata meeting of the CBCI that the South Indian dioceses and religious congregations which are rich in vocations may be asked to take up mission territories in North, where the church was facing a shortage of personnel. In addition to that, there was the constant demand of the Syro Malabar Church to have her right to do mission work in North India outside her territorium proprium. In response to these demands, Right Reverend Dr. Dominic Athaid, the Archbishop of Agra, offered our archdiocese territories in his archdiocese for mission work. Mar Anthony Padira himself, being a missionary, readily accepted the invitation, and having consulted fathers and sisters to work in the areas entrusted to our care.
The harvest was plentiful, but the labors were few. In the year 1975, through the intervention of Archbishop of Changanasheri, Mar Anthony Padira, the missionary work started in 3 districts of Etawah, Mainpuri and Farrukhabad.
Father Zacharias Kaitra, Father Matthew Wattakuri and Jos Puatingal. They came and had a search for the places which were assigned to us. Etawah, Mainpuri, Farrukhabad, and these districts were to be given to us. Correspondence continued, and Changanasheri Archdiocese decided to come to the north to take up this mission.
Situated in Uttar Pradesh, the most populous state of India, these districts were backward and undeveloped. Reverend Father Kuruvula Kokad and Reverend Father Jose Puvathingal took up the challenge and arrived at Agra on May 1st, 1975.
The areas entrusted to our care being criminal and backward in nature, having consulted those who have experience of the region, the pioneer missionaries felt that education will be the best means of evangelization in the area. Consequently, the mission runs educational institutions, both formal and non-formal, which has formed thousands of children and given better citizens for the nation, including a Chief Minister for Uttar Pradesh in the person of Sri Akhilesh Yadav.
Having taken up their mission in the backward and undeveloped area, the mission gave first preference to educational apostolate. When the missionaries reached Etawah, the St. Mary's Convent School, run by the Archdiocese, was handed over to them.
So we started our work centered on the school. So Archbishop of Agra had told us it is better to have schools for the first time to have contact with the people around. So we also thought that it is a good idea. That's why we started the school here. So the difficulty was, it was on a rent from the Church of North India, and only very few rooms were in the Bangalore where the classes were being run. So it was difficult for us to make progress in the school. So later in 1986, when Father Isaac came, that time only we started the upgrading of the school. With the help of the public and the district administration, we could start a new building. And since then, the classes were upgraded, and in 1992, we got the school affiliated the Central Board of Secondary Education.
The mission's aim was to evangelize the people with the Christian values. Thus, three-tier education system was developed to accomplish the aim.
In Etawah Mission, we follow an inclusive educational policy. Inclusive educational policy means we divide our educational policies into three realms. The first one is, of course, about English medium schools. The second level is of Hindi medium schools. And the third one is non-formal education. So in each realm, we have got an objective to be achieved. Of course, we can proudly say that we are achieving it for last 42 years. Through English medium schools, we are creating the people, those who are really designing the policies of the society, and they should be influenced with the Christian values. And in the second level, that is about the Hindi medium schools. Of course, that is to reach to the villages. And we cannot restrict our education system only to the main people of the society or only to the district centers. But our education policy is also to reach to the villages where they do not have a proper educational systems. And through our Hindi medium schools affiliated with the state governments as well as to the CBSE, we are trying to reach, of course, we are also reaching to the villages where they do not have a proper educational systems. Wherever the government could not reach, but Etawah Mission is trying to reach and trying to provide better education to them. And of course, to the third level, that is about the non-formal education. Through the non-formal education, we are also bringing under one umbrella of education all those who are deprived of any form of education, especially the people, those who do not have any regular way to go to a school, those who are unable to attend a regular school, and we bring all those children under one umbrella of education to give them more insights into their life, to give them a ray of hope for their future. So through all these three realms, we are covering the entire society from the high class or from the economic rich class to the poorest of the poor in the society.
In spite of several constraints, the educational apostolate of the mission spread over nearby districts of Etawah, Mainpuri, Farrukhabad, Kannauj, Auria and Firozabad stands unique in the field of education, shaping the future of the country. There are 12 schools run by the mission in the 6 districts, which continues to provide eminent citizens for the nation.
Spread of literacy, healthcare and social uplift is the need of North India, in particular those areas of Uttar Pradesh where no other leaders reach. May our leadership for the missions, making Christ known and urgency of the mission be lived out as a model for everybody else. And our collaborative spirit, Archdiocese of Agra and Archdiocese of Changanasheri, is a testimony of not just external collaborative agreements, but actual living the mission in the context that has given an impetus to all our priests in Agra Archdiocese.
The zealous missionaries have contributed with their life and blood in the development of education apostolate, and one such missionary is Father Isaac Jacob.
In the year 1994, while classes were in full swing, a tragic accident occurred. Originally, the place where we stand now was a veranda with 4 pillars. In the morning of 29th October 1994, certain crack was noticed in this portion of the veranda, and efforts to get the problem rectified was going on. Suddenly, it was noticed that a crack has developed on one of the pillars. Father Isaac Jacob, the manager, was informed. He rushed to the place and asked the teachers to bring children out of the classroom. As evacuation and effort to support the pillar was in progress, the veranda collapsed and Father Isaac was caught between the pillar and the wall. He lost his precious life, and the mission lost a missionary and a visionary loved by all.
The mission felt the importance and need of addressing the social concerns of the backward region, realizing that the love of Lord is required to each and every section of the society that were ignored. Here, the mission started social outreach programs, non-formal education, medical camps, dispensaries, prison ministry.
Other area of our activity is jail ministry. We are visiting jail twice in a week, and we are doing the psychological aspect of counseling to the jail inmates.
The social outreach programs of the mission are spread in around more than 50 villages in Chibaramau, Etawah, Auria, Jaswantnagar. The extension of the activities required coordination, and thus Etawah Samaj Kalyan Samiti and Asha Social Development Center at Alampur House, Etawah was started.
Etawah Samaj Kalyan Samiti has 2 wings. First wing is Asha Niketan, a special school for intellectually disabled children that is situated in Alampur House, Etawah. Asha Niketan was founded in the year 2001 by the former mission superior, Father Kurubala Kokat. Till 2004, it was in the premises of St. Mary's School, Etawah. 2004, it has been rebuilt to this area of Alampur House, and we are flourishing in this area for the 16 or 17 years.
The mission, having great concern for the development of the differently able children, established Asha Niketan in the year 2001.
We have physiotherapy for their training, speech therapy, physical training, and alternatively we conduct annual day and sports day for the betterment of the children and their abilities. In vocational training, we are training the children to make Rakhi for the celebration of Raksha Bandhan, and Deepavali time we are making different candles and with the molds and with colors so that it may be attractive to the society, and we are selling these candles and Rakhis in our own schools and the nearby markets.
The mission aimed to ensure that differently able children feel themselves part of the society.
मेरा नाम दिलीप कुमार सक्सेना है। और मैं इटावा में रहता हूँ। मेरा 2 बेटे हैं, एक शौर्य सक्सेना जिसकी एज लगभग 11 साल हो गई है, और एक ये छोटा आयुष सक्सेना है। तो वो 1.5-2 साल तक जब बड़ा बेटा मेरा हुआ तो वो बिल्कुल नॉर्मल से लगा। बाद में 1.5-2 साल बाद मुझे ऐसा लगा कि कुछ एक्टिविटीज़ डिफरेंट हो रही हैं, तो मैंने डॉक्टर्स वगैरह से कंसल्ट किया कि क्या इसकी प्रॉब्लम्स आ रही हैं, क्या चीज़ हो रही है। तो पता लगा कि वो एक ऑटिस्टिक चाइल्ड हैगा। मुझको बड़ा झटका सा लगा कि कैसे क्या होगा, लेकिन फिर मैं तमाम ट्रीटमेंट करवाया, दिल्ली वगैरह एम्स वगैरह में भी दिखवाया। तो उन्होंने कहा कि इसको जो है एक स्पेशल एजुकेशन के सेंटर में आप ले जाया करिए। फिर मुझको पता लगा इटावा के अंदर एक आशा निकेतन हैगा जो कि इटावा मिशन के अंतर्गत सेंट थॉमस एजुकेशन सोसाइटी के अंतर्गत चलता है। तो फिर मैंने यहाँ पे पता किया आके, तो यहाँ का एनवायरनमेंट मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा। काफ़ी बड़ा है और सिस्टमेटिक सब वर्क है। इस टाइप के बच्चों के लिए बिल्कुल स्पेशल एजुकेशन के लिए सारे इंतज़ाम हैं, सारी फैसिलिटीज़ वगैरह हैं। सुबह बस आ जाती है बच्चों को घर पे लेने के लिए, उसके बाद वो अपना स्कूल में आते हैं, फिर वो अपना प्रेयर वगैरह करते हैं। मैंने देखा है कि वो अपना एक्सरसाइज वगैरह भी काफ़ी कराते हैं, स्पीच थेरेपी का भी इंतज़ाम है, और हर तरीके के बच्चों को अलग अलग थेरेपी का इंतज़ाम है। तो जब से मेरा बेटा यहाँ पे आया है, लगभग 6 साल हो गए उसको यहाँ पे आते हुए, तब से उसके अंदर काफ़ी चेंजिंग आए हैं। वो पहले वो हर समय दौड़ता रहता था, थोड़ा सा आई हुई खट करता था। अब उसमें पहले से काफ़ी स्टेबिलिटी आ गई है। वो बिल्कुल बैठा रहता है, काफ़ी देर तक, आधे घंटे तक बैठा रहता है। घर में अपने जो मन होता है वो करता है। तो मैं समझता हूँ जब से वो यहाँ पे आया है तब से उसकी एक लाइफ चेंज हो रही है। आगे के लिए एक उम्मीद है कि शायद धीमे धीमे वो बिल्कुल सेट हो जाएगा।
And we have different areas we are having these social work activities. The first area of this one is Alambur itself. We have almost 22 villages we are doing the social work activities. In these areas, we having SHG group, self-help group for the women. We have Balawadis for the children. And through these 2 activities, we are making the financial welfare of the people of this area.
जब से मैं आई तब से तो मैंने काफ़ी देखा है कि फादर जी और सिस्टर लोगों का हमेशा समाज में काफ़ी योगदान रहा है। समाज के प्रति, लोगों के प्रति, बच्चों के प्रति, किशोरियों के प्रति, हम सब के प्रति उनका बहुत आभार है। हम लोग उनके द्वारा काफ़ी काम करते हैं। हम लोग को जो बाहर नहीं निकलते हैं, जो लड़कियां बाहर नहीं निकलती हैं, उनके लिए फादर जी ने सिलाई सेंटर खुलवाया और कैंडल्स, मोमबत्ती बनाना सिखाया। सिलाई का एक छोटा सा वो भी खोला जिसमें जो लड़कियां नहीं जानती हैं तो वो सीख भी सकती हैं।
We are also having the candle making for the women, and so that they will be able to make their own money through these activities, and small type of mat so that they will be selling these mats in the markets. And other areas where we having the social work activities are Gadara Nagalia, or is the minor seminary area where we have, and the other area is Chibramavu where we have 10 SHG groups. All these groups have been working wonderfully.
In addition to the missionary outreach program, the mission also take pastoral care of the migrant communities in the area. All the stations in the area have small but sizable number of Christian communities. The mission takes up the duty of pastoral care of the community. In addition, the mission is also entrusted with the migrant Syro-Malabar Catholics at Kanpur and Lucknow. The pioneer missionaries felt that if proclamation of the word God is to be effective, the future missionaries must be educated and formed in the area. Thus, the minor seminary Jeevan Jyoti Bhavan at Nagla Gadaria Etawah was started.
This Jeevan Jyoti Bhavan, which is situated now in Nagla Gadrian, is very important because the place name Nagla Gadrian, which means the den of shepherds. So it is an apt place to form the future shepherds in a mission context. Moreover that, this mission seminary is unique in its nature because an archdiocese or a diocese of Syro-Malabar culture has or owns a seminary in a mission land. That is, only this seminary and the Archdiocese of Changanasheri can own that pride. And here, today, in 3 batches, we have got 19 students, and they all undergo the formation in the mission context. Here, the speciality of this training is nothing other than to have an immediate contact with the people where we live in. We have got village visits. Our seminarians go to the village for teaching the students as a non-formal education, and also we get acquainted with their culture through the local festivals and other.
Etawah mission was always at the forefront of ecumenism. In 2 stations, the mission shared same churches with CNI brethren.
इटावा में ये चर्च जो है ब्रिटिश टाइम का है, 1853 इसका फाउंडेशन रखा गया बाय द चर्च ऑफ इंग्लैंड, और उसके बाद ये चर्च जब से स्थापित है, और 1970 में ये चर्च ऑफ नॉर्थ इंडिया के पास आया ट्रांसफ़र होके, और जब से लेके चर्च ऑफ नॉर्थ इंडिया और कैथलिक चर्च जो यहाँ पर है, हम लोग सब एक साथ मिलकर यहाँ पर वर्शिप करते हैं, परमेश्वर का कार्य करते हैं, और ताकि हमारी सेवाओं से, दोनों डिनोमिनेशंस की सेवाओं से जो इटावा के लोकल लोग हैं, जो लोग इटावा में रहते हैं, वो लाभान्वित हो सके। और यही हमारा एक इक्यूमेनिकल मोटो है कि हम एक साथ मिलकर परमेश्वर की सेवा करें और आपस में यूनाइट होकर परमेश्वर के उस मिशन को पूरा करें जो प्रभु यीशु मसीह ने सारे चर्चेस को दिया है।
The mission also provides free education to the children of Christians, and in some cases, employment, providing them an economic security in life. The mission gives prime importance to cultural exchange in the multicultural atmosphere.
तो बहुत सारे यहाँ इस ज़िले में कोई भी अंग्रेजी माध्यम की शिक्षा नहीं थी। फादर जोसेफ साहब पूवाथ अंकल जी ने यहाँ पर ये स्कूल स्थापित किया और बहुत मेहनत करके इस स्कूल को बनाया। उस समय मदर मरिया जी, फादर जी, ये इतने लगे रहते थे। मेरे तो सन 90 से उधर ही बहुत निकट के संबंध हो गए थे। मेरा जाना आना रहता था, हर वक्त मैं देखता था, और इस स्कूल से मेरा बड़ा लगाव है।
Etawah mission started 43 years ago stands a unique example to be followed.
The presence of a mission is actually the work of the gospel. Unless we proclaim the gospel, the church has no reason for existence. So therefore, the whole church has to become missionary. And this mission of Etawah and the recently added mission called Jaipur, they are all signs of the vivacity of this church in the field of evangelization.
The founding fathers of the mission and the goodwill of the successive shepherds of Agra and Changanasheri Archdiocese have helped to spread the aroma of the Christian love in the hearts of the people.
നിങ്ങൾ ലോകമെങ്ങും പോയി എൻ്റെ സുവിശേഷം എല്ലാവരെയും അറിയിക്കുക, എല്ലാ ജനതകളെയും ശിഷ്യപ്പെടുത്തുക എന്നുള്ള കർത്താവിൻ്റെ ആഹ്വാനം, അതിന് എവിടെയൊക്കെ എപ്പോഴൊക്കെ വേദികൾ തുറന്നു കിട്ടിയോ അപ്പോഴൊക്കെ അവിടേക്ക് കടന്നു ചെല്ലുവാൻ അതിരൂപത ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചിരുന്നു. കർത്താവ് പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ വിളവധികം വേലക്കാർ ചുരുക്കം, അതുകൊണ്ട് തൻ്റെ വയലിലേക്ക് വേലക്കാരെ അയക്കുവാൻ വിളവിൻ്റെ നാഥനോട് പ്രാർത്ഥിക്കുന്നു എന്നുള്ള ആഹ്വാനം അനുസരിച്ച് നിറഞ്ഞു കിടക്കുന്ന വിളഭൂമിയിലേക്ക് കൊയ്ത്തുകാരായിട്ട് പ്രേക്ഷിതരെ ലഭിക്കുവാൻ തീഷ്ണമായ പ്രാർത്ഥന ആവശ്യമുണ്ട്. അത്തരത്തിൽ ഈ ഇറ്റാവ മിഷൻ്റെയും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ ജയ്പൂർ മിഷൻ്റെയും വളർച്ചയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടി എല്ലാവരുടെയും ആത്മാർത്ഥമായ സഹകരണവും അതുപോലെ തന്നെ പ്രാർത്ഥനയും ഞാൻ ഈ അവസരത്തിൽ അഭ്യർത്ഥിക്കുകയും ചെയ്യുന്നു.